you doing here? It's Jef Jaisun. Check it out. Jef, what are you doing?
I'm hanging.
He is hanging.
It's just what I do.
So, okay, so now, one, we're down here, and I know you're doing some blues work and all of this stuff. You're hanging out, you're playing a little music. Talk to me about your music and what you're doing there.
I've been playing music for so long it looks like up to me.
Okay, yes,
You
okay.
know what I mean? You know, you write 1,000 tunes or so over 20 or 30 or 40 years,
Wow.
and it's tough to find a place to put them. So I just put them here tonight.
Sure, so you're just out wandering around playing.
Yeah, basically.
Beautiful.
I mean,
beautiful.
I like this club. It's a beautiful place, and just thought I'd.
Oh, the refit, the way they've kind of come through and all the stuff they've done. It's gorgeous down here. You should be here. If you're watching this right now, turn off your TV, get out your sandals or your boots, and come on down.
Get on down.
Big time. Okay, so now, hey, your guitar has writing on it. What's up?
Well, you know, like a lot of guys who are basically groupies of great guitar players, I had a few of my favorite guys sign this guitar over the years.
Wait a minute, B.B. King?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's BB. He signed that in '96. The first one on here, however, was Buddy Guy back in '84, and that was, you know, that was before Buddy Guy wasn't known too much outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, if you were a hardcore blues fan, you knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just been the last few years he's gotten some national acclaim and some, you know,
Wow.
Grammys. I've got Buddy Knox on here. This fella right here, who signed it in '98. Buddy is no longer with us. The late great Buddy Knox. He's the guy who did the original Party Doll tune back in 1957.
Okay, sweet, all right.
Yeah, a lot of great rockabilly stuff.
If you know me, you know I'm all about things like Party Doll. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, and funny, me too. Anyway, and this last signature down here, this great big one, is Robert Lockwood Jr. And Robert Lockwood Jr., of course, is at the moment we are speaking, he's 89 years old.
Wow.
He's been playing the blues since he was knee-high to a proverbial grasshopper,
Sure.
and his stepfather was Robert Johnson.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I can't believe, you know, with all those signatures, what are you doing playing it? I mean, I got a chance to check you out. You play it pretty damn well, but shouldn't it be in a glass case or something? I mean, should you really touch your guitar, Jef Jaisun? Should you really touch your guitar?
Yeah. Because if you don't play it, what the hell good is it?
Okay, all right, I can go with
I'm
that.
one of those kind of guys, you know, there's a lot of things you can put in a glass case. You can put some of these photos in a glass case, but you can't take them down and play them.
So talk to me about the photos. Now, here's the story. So I'm down here at the Blues Club. I'm hanging out. I'm scoping some music, of course, because that's one of the things I do. But one of the other things I do is I drink in some artwork, and I'm wandering around, and I find all these beautiful pictures, and I find out that he's the photographer. Talk to me about that.
Well, you know, it's a little bit like getting somebody to sign your guitar that you like, okay? Well, as things evolved in my early career of journalism, I was a writer. I started out doing music reviews for a newspaper here in town.
Okay.
And one day they came to me and said, look, you're hanging out with all these guys. You know all these guys, right? And I said, yeah. Well, do you have a camera? Yeah. Well, if we give you some film, will you take some pictures to go with your reviews? Yeah, fine. Well, I was a freelancer, which meant I own the images. That's the way it is.
Okay.
So I go home with all the stuff, and years later I start pulling it out to see what I got, and
You got the goods, babe.
Yeah, I'm a little bit amazed at what I have. But, you know, so it's become kind of my second career. I'm either playing music or I'm at a festival, a blues fest or something, taking photos of the guys on stage.
So now, you know, I know that you have shown all over the planet, but I also know that this is really the first opportunity we get a chance to actually scope your stuff here in Seattle. It's kind of fun to show the stuff around the new neighborhood or the old neighborhood or whatever you call it.
Well, it's really funny. I mean, one of the newspaper writers here was ragging on me 20 years ago to do a show here. But again, it's a little bit like music. You know, where do you play? Where do you show your stuff? If you're going to shoot blues people, you know, whose wall are you going to go to with that, right? So, yeah, this is actually, in all these 30 years of shooting photos, this is the very first show I've ever done in Seattle.
Wow.
Right here on this wall and a couple of the other walls in the club.
Huh. So, okay, so now I got to take this down a turn because you know I'm a curious son of a gun. So I got to know, okay, how do you get so good at so many things? I mean, writing, making music, shooting, all that stuff. I mean, talk to me about just being a Renaissance guy with so many skills. I mean, how does that happen?
I like to call it liberal arts curse.
Okay, all right, okay, sure.
You know, you go to college, you drop out because they can't teach you what you want. You take piano lessons, you quit because they're not teaching you the tunes you want. You take guitar lessons 4 times, and they won't teach you what you want to know. So you just go out and find a way to do it yourself. Yeah, and over time, this stuff kind of dovetails in. I mean, it's all music based one way or the other.
Sure.
I mean, I was either writing about music, playing music since I was, my dad.
That tall. He's been playing music since he was that tall.
I got news for you. Here's a story for you.
Okay.
My dad likes to tell this story. He says, when I was 9 months old, couldn't walk yet, I figured out a way to climb up the rungs of my grandfather's old Victrola.
Okay.
78 RPM deal. Yeah, and play the 78.
Oh, really? Figured out how to turn it on because he's a creative genius, and that's what happens when you're 9 months old and you're creative.
Hey, DJ early on. I should have gone into it. Anyway, it's one other thing I've done. But no, it's just it all turns out to be part of the music. It's just Frank Zappa once said it's all one big note. Okay?
Sure.
And to me, it really is. I mean, it all revolves around my love of the music.
Well, okay, so now we know what you're doing here now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're making music, you're showing your cool photography skills and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So what's coming next? What's up? What's the future hold for Jef Jaisun?
I think fame and fortune. I'm ready for that.
Okay, all right. Hey, Tom, I'll bet.
Well, it's like anything. If you're a creator, if you're an artist of any kind, you want people to see your work, you want people to hear your work, and you would like to be able to support yourself doing it.
Sure.
When you're 18 or 19, all you want to do is be a rock and roll star. And you're sure you've got that hit tune, and you're sure that Warner Brothers isn't going to dump on you after you've signed that contract.
Of course.
Of course. But, of course, they do, and
Sure.
there you are, and you're slinging hash at McDonald's, or you're pumping gas, or you're working in an auto department at Value Mart or something, and so you go on for years. But the question is, okay, when it gets tough like that, what do you do with your music? What do you do with your art? Do you stay with it on some level? Do you keep it going? And I never found any good reason not to.
Okay.
It always made sense to me, no matter what else I had to put up with. Keep playing, keep singing,
creating.
get in front of people, and if
yeah.
it's about photography, keep shooting.
Yep. Keep shooting and showing and going out and doing it.
Absolutely. And keep staying in contact with the artists that you love.
Right.
The guys and the
community,
women
hang
that
out,
you want to hear play. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
See, this is one of the things we love, and this is where friend of a friend of a friend of another friend, it goes like this. They hang together. Neat people have a tendency to run with other neat people. Now, you know, and I know, that one of the things that we can do is, how shall we say, we can get out there, we can do a little search, we can go find out more about Jef Jaisun. Now, if I want to know more about you, what do I do? Do I go online? How do I learn more about what you're creating, your works?
Well, the photo site, there's a photo website.
Okay.
It's jasonphoto.com, and you got to spell it for people because
Sure.
they never get the Jason part right. Jaisun.
Okay, Jaisun.
S-U-N.
Okay.
Yeah.
.com?
Yeah, Photo. Jason Photo, all one big word.
Okay.
.com, and that's how you can find me through the photography site.
Okay.
I've got one of those goofy vanity websites too, but
You love that.
yeah, eljefe.net.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.net.
eljefe.net.
Sweet.
That's all I can tell you is I got tagged with that moniker years ago. It stuck. Well, Jef, Jefe,
Uh-huh. I'm sure.
Puedo hablar
I'm sure there's a
español.
story behind the story.
Yeah, there
Oh,
is.
yes, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay,
so-
so now, also, of course, you can wander across him around town like we've been fortunate enough to do, where you're hanging out. You're in the house at night, or the what? It's the
Highway 99 Blues Club.
It's the Highway 99 Blues Club. I'm so happy I don't even know where I am. We're hanging out, and what do? We meet a good pal. Okay, we're going to leave you alone. Thanks so much for hanging out and
Thank
talking
you so
with us.
much. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh, this kicks ass. All right, we're going to leave now. Let's go over here.